What is up, guys? Harriet bringing you my analysis on the intro of Arcane. Now, with Arcane Season 1 ending and being promised a second season, while Jin's rocket is still midair, I figure I will try to interpret the intro to Arcane. So we start off with the beginning of the intro. There is a statue of Vi standing along, looking down on the earth. Perhaps her facial expression says it all. The song begins with a beat, and come the next frame, Jinx appears here as Powder. Now, what does this mean? This could mean Powder is leaning on Vi's tenacity. Powder is leaning on on Vi to survive. Remember the adventures of Vi and Powder. Yeah, that's the stuff. So this is just I'm interpreting this as Powder leaning on Vi. But look at the facial expression. Powder is looking down. Powder is looking up. Vi is looking down. You know what looking down means? It means it's a sign of worry, and looking up means a sign of optimism. Vi's impression looking down makes her look worried on the safety of Powder, and could also mean she is worried about Powder being a big liability on their operations, their adventures. Now, Powder is looking upward. This reflects her optimism. But behind her, despite being optimistic, behind her back, the ones that are closest to her, this is symbolized by the statue of Vi, leads to the fact that they are worried for Powder. So, if you go to the ending of Act 1 where Powder did a hexa kill on the syndicates and Vi's family, Powder was optimistic. She said, she did it, sis, but yeah, in the end, it ended up killing, and that is the root of all the worries of Powder, of through Powder. Vi is worried that Powder is a liability, and you can see there's a look, there's that down look is a look of worry and anxiousness. For my mind to run around. So, this shows the first time Victor comes in. It transitions from Jace to Victor. For my mind to run around. This pertains to Jace taking in Victor as his partner. Now, if you look closely here, Victor came out from a shell. This shell could symbolize Singe, but I couldn't properly analyze it because it's still a blur. Even I do it in 4K and it's in 0.25 times speed. So let me know in the comments, what is this? This could mean that Victor broke out from the shell of Singe, because Victor's old mentor is Singe. And for my mind to run around, this could mean, like I said, Jay is looking up to Victor as his partner. Now let's play it a bit with my ear up to the ground. This means that Victor is ready to listen to Jace, and Jace is ready to listen to Victor. This means that they will share knowledge, exchange knowledge, up to the creation of the hex tech from the gemstone. And we see here Victor looking at the book. This means that Victor is a studious person. He's a Sigma male. He likes to grind out the spots, And this is foreshadowing on the efforts Victor took for the development of Hextech and for its further progress, like to help humankind to live and to survive. I'm I'm searching to behold. We got a blurry transition. So what is being searched here? Well, being what is being searched is going to be revealed in the next frame. Just a few seconds, and yes, we see here Caitlyn. I'm searching to behold the stories that are told. This means Kate. This is a foreshadowing of Caitlyn's search for the truth about the attack by Jinx. Remember, the stories that are told are being are like fake news. I mean, they've acquitted Silco many times because of one guy who led the investigation, Marcus, who is working under Silco. Marcus is corrupted, but Caitlyn searching, investigating these cases under Marcus's nose is what the scene here promises. I'm searching to behold the stories that are told. There are stories that are being told, but there is something else to search from. And that's why we get a poster or a mural of Caitlyn here. Because she is the one who is leading the investigation right under Marcus's nose. The lyrics, when my back is to the world that was smiling when I was turned, is a foreshadow of Heimerdinger and his exit from the council. Now remember, Heimerdinger is like the powder piltover. He's one of the veterans of the council. He is also Jace's mentor, but to the point that he is a boomer for the creation of Hextech. He doesn't want it to progress. You can't blame him. He wants to safeguard the patent of Hextech so it could not be weaponized, which we will learn sooner or later from the series. He just wants a safety net. Is all I'm asking. You can't just deploy something to production without it being tested further. You can't just innovate something to production which is innovating further. And that is what the council is looking at. Heimer is like a barrier to this so-called progress of Piltover. Hence, when the lyrics, when my back is to the world, he was he was ousted, so his back is facing the world now. And when he realizes it, when that was smiling when I turned, when he turns about it, he realized the council is glad that he is out because there's no more opposition to the proposal of Hextech and this progress. They can just use Hextech for whatever they want. And that is like this simple line, this attention to detail is Heimerdinger's progress in this series. And yes, I like it a lot. It's just two lines, but it speaks more about Heimerdinger in just this intro. Tell you you're the greatest pertains to two people in the series. One is Mel. Mel telling Jace he's the greatest. This is an act of being a traditional politician. Mel is also seducing Jace, but she is also into Jace. And Mel is persuading Jace to develop Hextech further beyond. This is what the Tell You You're the Greatest lyrics meant to Mel. It's her affair or relationship with Jace. With this simple line, Tell You You're the Greatest. Also, the lyrics overlap to another scene here, which is a statue of Vi and Powder and the hands of Vander. Tell You You're the Greatest overlapping from Mel to Vander is such a cool way to tell the audience that this line is pertaining to the two of them. I think Tell You You're the Greatest meant these two, Vi and Powder, are the greatest gifts Vander ever gotten, and that gave him respite and made him into a nice guy. But as the intro by frame progresses, but once you turn, they hate us, we got a shadow looming over Vander. Now, this shadow is Silco. And switching up perspectives, I interpret this as Silco saying Vander turned on him. And yeah, that is the growth of hate. Because once you go to that line, they hate us, it went into the emphasis of the reveal of Silco and his eye. The transformation Silco was undergone due to hate. His hate to the top side, his hate for Vander, and the transition from the Silco before Arcane to the Silco we know as the Crime Lord. This is what the line. It's a chain of lyrics pertaining to the history of the kids, Vander, and Silco. But once you turn, they hate us. The the reasoning of betrayal, of hate that grows betrayal that grows into the hate to the person that got betrayed. Oh, the misery. Well, if you watch Act 3, this is a flash scene of the Firelight leader, which is revealed to be Echo. And maybe the oh, the misery pertains to Echo being left alone, fending off the Silco men, the Mafia, on his own. And that gave him misery. Also, to the fact that Vi is gone, Powder is now Jinx, and this leads to the next line. Everybody wants to be my enemy. So this could be foreshadowing that Echo has to accept that Jinx is now the enemy and it's not now Powder, because in Act 3, for Echo, Powder is gone. All that was left is Jinx. Spare the Sympathy shows Caitlyn shooting. This could be a metaphor to Caitlyn's sparing the Sympathy over Powder and catching Powder as the Jinx persona. And sparing the Sympathy means Caitlyn has no sympathy towards Jinx because of her attacks, but Caitlyn also knows Jinx is Vice Powder. It's like the conflict of interest. Kill off or arrest Jinx, which is your future partner's sister, or what. So this is what Caitlyn, and it kind of transitions. It looks like it's gonna show that Caitlyn is shooting Victor here. I can say this is Victor because of the brace and the cane, but hear me out. The next line is everybody wants to be my enemy. It looks like Victor is running away, but his brace can't hold on. Here we also see a little bit of a shimmering blue light. See what I did there? Shimmer. This is foreshadowing that he will take the Shimmer Serum, which was done in Act 3. And also, in Act 3, Victor did run after the Shimmer. So, it's like this. It's a foreshadow on what is to come for Victor. What is the future for Victor? And if anyone caught on the Shimmer blue light Victor is running to, it could be also his addiction to Shimmer before the death of Sky. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Now looking on to Jace, it overlaps with Victor because we see here Jace is in an angry facial expression. Everybody wants to be my enemy could be symbolizing the council opposing Jace's advancement to use brute force against the Undercity. Jace is blinded by rage. You see blinding light, and then Jace looks mad. This is blinded by rage, and Jace wants to take it on his own hands. And remember, when Jace and Vi team up, screw the council because the council is opposing the fact for an all-out war. They want negotiations in first. This is Act 3 foreshadowing. Jace bringing down the hammer. There is a blinded by light moment here. Jace is mad. And yeah, you know what happened in Act 3 when Jace brought down the hammer? He killed the kid. He realized something is not right. And yeah, he was just blinded by rage against the Undercity. He even neglected Victor is from the Undercity. That is what this scene is about. Blind rage. So next is Pray It, I Swear. We see Jinx here. She may look angry, but her facial expression is a mixture of anger and rage. I mean, anger and rage, anger and disappointment, sadness, or something. Because on the next frame, she is fighting off with Vi. And you see, I'll never be a saint, no way. Vi, this might be a season 2 thing or a future season thing. That Vi isn't a saint. And I think it will just go to the conclusion. Maybe Vi would just have to eliminate Jinx herself. She'll never get powder back again. That's why it says she'll never be a saint. No way. It it is the conflict. It is the internal conflict of Vi. What to do with powder? Turn her in, kill her, or reconcile with her. But maybe this lyric is saying she'll never be a saint. Peace isn't an option. She has to take out Vi. And that is a pretty good shot, to be honest. It shows her future gauntlets, and it shows the two facing up each other. My enemy is now is my deadline, my enemy, and the two facing each other. We never get to see that in Act 3, but maybe enemy will be the theme song for season 2, and I think the conclusion will be Vi and Jinx will pretty much end up fighting each other. And that's my video. That's my interpretation for the lyrics of Arcane. Yeah, there's a lot of attention to detail that you have to see to analyze. And I think the 0.25 per time speed helped me in seeing this video. So if you like my analysis, leave a like. It only takes 1 second of your life to do it. Makes a massive difference on the channel. It helps it grow further. And yeah, if you saw any Easter eggs or you come up with your own analysis, let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, I accept constructive criticisms. I'm sorry that my English is bad because this is not my first language. I'm actually Filipino, and yeah, sometimes I get saliva on my mouth to talk. But yeah, this is Harriet, and that is my insight. Goodbye and good night, and look out for yourself.